I went to the Atlanta National Money Show this week, and I had an absolute blast. I met really cool vendors, saw amazing coins and banknotes, really unique stuff, and I left with an extremely controversial opinion, which I'm going to share with you at the end of this video. Stay tuned also to see who won last week's 1 ounce silver giveaway and how you can win a free 1 ounce silver bullion coin this week. Hello everybody, Silverpicker here, and welcome to the Silverpicker Squad. Now today's video is super exciting because I am here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Money Show. This is the A&A's Money Show here in Atlanta, and we've got hundreds of vendors, really cool stuff that I'm excited to share with you guys. Now, I know that many of you don't have access to a local coin store, let alone a massive coin show, so I'm going to ask vendors here to share with us their most unusual, unique, or extraordinary coin so you guys at home can also get a taste of what's out there and what's really, really cool in the numismatic world. Let's go. All right, so what do we have here?
I'm Doug. I work for A Coin and Stamp out of Jacksonville, Florida. We're at this beautiful coin show today. This is a great opportunity for people to come and see coins that they wouldn't normally see in regular life. A lot of dealers have rare and valuable items that only museums have, or close to museum quality. This is one of them. This is a proof Morgan dollar. They only made 880 of these. So to have one in real high quality or condition is something that's really kind of neat and exciting. This one we're selling for $80,000, so you can decide to have a modest house or you can have a coin. I really like coming to coin shows because you see a multitude of different things. You see coins from $10, $20 up to, $100,000, $200,000, $1 million coins. And it's always well worth the price of admission. One of my favorite coins is the $17.99 bust dollar. I'll show you one. And just to kind of put it into perspective, it's a beautiful coin. It's got a draped bust design, but just to put it in perspective, this is the year George Washington died. I like to tell everybody that I imagine George Washington owned this at one point in time and had it in his pocket at one point in time, and it just kind of mentally, it kind of puts me into that time frame. Boy, that's a really old coin to have a coin that was made the year George Washington died, the father of our country. So come down to a coin show, experience it, find a coin that you love and you want to collect, and start collecting.
Hey, I'm Robert Calderman. I'm with the Society of Paper Money Collectors. I'm your membership secretary, and we're here at the Atlanta A&A show. And I'm a paper money dealer, and this is one of my favorite notes. It's pretty unusual. It's the serial number 1 from Dahlonega, Georgia, for the Pigeon Roost Mining Company. And this is one of the 3 major mining companies that was pulling the gold out of the ground to later mint the Dahlonega, Georgia gold coins. So kind of an unusual thing. This particular note, it's from plate position A, and there were 4 notes on the sheet, so this was the top of the sheet. And the gentleman who the note was made payable to, he actually endorsed the note on the back and took it with him as a souvenir. So he carried this around probably as a pocket piece and was proud of the fact that he was a big shot banker, and he got to have the number 1 note from the mining company in Georgia before the California gold rush, which is pretty wild. And this one's dated 1837, 1 year before they started making the Dahlonega gold coins. So awesome history.
This is definitely one of the most unusual coins I've ever seen. This coin is actually struck in rubber. That is something new to me. This is a token. Have you guys ever seen a rubber coin before? This is a token that was given out during the campaign where Abraham Lincoln was running for president. That is unreal. And look at the condition. It's graded out at MS64.
I understand we just got here, so we're going to walk around once. We want something unique.
Something unique, something unusual.
Let's get
light on it. Can you see it good?
That's perfect.
Are you recording?
Yep.
Yeah, what we're looking at here are some of the original banknotes that were issued in 1929 during what they call the national banking period. The federal government, after the Civil War, decided they would federalize the banking system in the United States, and they created 14,432 banks, I believe was the final number that they authorized to operate. During the late 20s, when we went over to the small format of money, these were the first ones that were issued. And as you can see, this was the first note that the bank issued, the Florida National Bank of Lakeland, Florida. And as you can see, this was serial number 1. And when these would come into the banks, the tellers would take them and cut 6 notes out of there. So to have survived that period is what makes this note valuable. Similar sheets like this have sold, number 1 sheets, have sold for $20,000, $25,000. So just because it wasn't cut up, the value of it is still there. And as you can see in the case, I'll show you one more while we're looking. Before that, when we issued the large sheets, here's a large sheet from a bank in Tennessee. Now, as you notice, it's not the number 1 sheet, but still, today, to still be intact is just something, a thing of beauty. In fact, I believe I did a little research on this, and in the entire state of Tennessee, there's only 8 of these sheets known for the whole state from banks all over the state. So that's, of course, what's make this rare. But we found a lot of people in today's collecting market have really zeroed in and enjoy paper money because of the artwork on it and what they did during that time period. So if you need any more information on it or ever interested, just give us a call and we'd be glad to give you any help we can. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bob Shalowitz. I'm actually a doctor by trade, but I'm in a very excellent hobby, including U.S. coins and paper money, but I specialize in something called hard times tokens, which were made from approximately 1832 to 1845. It was during a time in the country due to some of what Andrew Jackson did. There was a depression and there was a fight over the U.S. Bank, and there wasn't enough coins for people to have for spending. So these hard times tokens were created, and they're very, very hard to find in top condition. I'm going to show you a few of them. This one is actually an orthopedic surgeon made a hard times token, but fixing bones, etc. And this is in absolute superb condition, which they never come like that very often. And then this one is a merchant token. Not enough change, so they made these, and this is about the best one I've ever seen in 40 years of collecting. And then this is another merchant token by someone that makes boots, and these are blazing red condition like the day they were made, and that's why I'm showing these, because they don't usually come in condition like this. And a US coin of this size would be way more common than this hard times token. So if anybody wants any more information, my name is Bob Shalowitz. You can text me at 330-473-8083, and I look forward to talking to anyone else that might be interested in this kind of coin collecting.
That was really, really cool stuff. So a big, big thank you to all of the vendors that participated and shared with us their awesome coins and banknotes. I really learned a ton. I hope you guys did too. Now, on to my sort of controversial opinion. And before we get to that, I'll ask you for a couple of little favors The first of which is smash that like button. I mean, it's a small little thing and it will help promote the video because the YouTube algorithm will then share it with more people, which means, of course, we will be sharing the coin collecting hobby with more and more people and helping to grow the hobby, which is good for everybody. And if you are watching and you're not yet a subscriber, I would love it if you'd hit the subscribe button. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch me every week, right? No, but seriously, if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome, and I would super, super, super appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel in a more concrete way, there is a Patreon campaign where you can contribute a couple of bucks a month and support things like video production, video equipment, things that will help improve the quality of these videos and sort of take the edge off of the expenses. So really, I would appreciate it, but of course, no obligation, but thank you very much. Now, on to my sort of controversial opinion. Well, I had a great time at the show. Honestly, I did. I really, really did. But there was one thing that really frustrated me, and I'll say it actually made me angry. And that was the resistance and negativity of the vast majority of the vendors towards me making this video. And it's really not about me being frustrated that they didn't want to be in my video. It was more about what that represents. And I will say, there were a handful of vendors. I must have talked to 30 or 40 vendors, asking them to be in the video, and really, other than the handful that you saw on the video, they all said no. I will admit there were 2 or 3 that said, look, I respect what you're doing, I really like it, it's just not for me. I don't want to be on camera, I'm not comfortable with it, but I respect what you're doing. That is fine with me. I totally can get behind that. It was the vast majority, however, that without any questions, without any interest, just said, no, I'm not interested. Nope, nope. Many of them were even very rude to me. And what I said, this is how I approached them. I said, hi, my name is Max. I have a YouTube channel called Silver Picker that deals with coins and precious metals, and I'm making a video today asking vendors at this show to share with my viewers their most interesting, unique, or unusual coin or banknote. Would you like to participate? And really, almost every single one of them said no. Some of them even started shaking their heads and wouldn't even, and like turned away to talk to someone else while I was talking to them. It was extremely rude and frustrating. And the vast majority of them were just not even interested. They didn't ask questions. And I said to them, I'm like, it's free advertising too, right? Like, you guys are always looking for places to buy interesting and unique coins, and I put in the information of the people that did talk, right? So some of you presumably will go on their websites or call them and end up doing business. So I said, it's free advertising if nothing else. I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Every single one of them, and it was extremely frustrating. And here's why. I go to a coin club once a month, and it is mostly much, much older people. And I'm saying that I'm 31, and I bring down the average age only to about 67, and that's a real number. It's very, very old in my coin club, and I'm sure that that's true in most coin clubs. And the number one complaint of my friends and I guess you could say co-club members is that young people are not interested in coin collecting and the hobby is quote-unquote dying. Now, I don't really believe that, but when you go to a coin show and you see, 90% older men, and you go to a coin club and you see 90% older men and very, very few young people, you could come to that conclusion. My feeling, however, is that the hobby's not dying. It may have shrunk, of course, since like the 1960s, that's for sure, but it's not dying because you guys are there. The difference is the way that people could collect. Young people could collect through their communities online, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Reddit, on TikTok. They collect through their communities in person, like in coin clubs at the local library or at local coin shows. Both are fine. However, the reason why I'm upset at the resistance that these vendors showed is that they complain that the hobby is dying and that young people aren't interested. Yet when I give them an opportunity to share the hobby, and other YouTubers, not just me, when people offer to make a video and share just an interesting or unique piece of numismatic currency or coins, and their immediate answer is no, I'm not interested, is really disheartening. Because they're the people that have the experience, knowledge, and the physical products, the coins and the banknotes, that they can share with you guys and get you guys excited and interested about the hobby. And they want no part in it. And my feeling is that you can't complain that young people aren't interested in something, and then when you're given the opportunity to do something about it, you immediately say no and do so rudely. And that's what was very disheartening to me about the show. And that's why I think the show, ultimately, I think was a failure. They had a whole bunch of things for YNs, or young numismatists, if you're not familiar with the term. They had a whole bunch of activities, they had all these pamphlets, but there really weren't very many YNs. There weren't very many kids, there weren't very many teenagers, and there weren't very many people in their 20s and 30s. And my feeling is that just because you put out a couple of exhibits for younger people, that's not really what's going to get them interested. I think that YouTube and these kind of more intimate and exciting means of sharing the hobby is what's going to bring the hobby into the future. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, all these things are communities. And that's also what I'm trying to do on my private Discord server, is to create more of a exclusive, intimate community where people can ask me questions about their coins, about their investing thoughts, their precious metals, and they can ask each other. And that's what I'm trying to build. And that's a 21st century thing. Discord is mostly used by gamers, and it's young people. Now, I've rattled on about this way too much, but I think you guys get the idea. But that's what leads me to the next part of the video, which is, of course, this week's contest and who won last week's. Now, normally I announce last week's winner first and tell you about this week's contest, but I'm going to tell you about this week's contest first this time because it connects directly to what I'm talking about. Now, all you need to do to enter is hit the like button, because we need to reach 1,000 likes like last time. If we reach 1,000 likes, the contest happens. If not, then the prize gets pushed to the next week. So 1,000 likes, so hit the like button, and in the comments below, what I want you to do is I want you to give an idea that relates to getting more people interested in coin collecting. Even if it's something that's as simple as saying, post more on Facebook, share more on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, I want to see your ideas for getting more young people. And when I say young people, I mean anyone from kids all the way up until their late 30s, let's say, interested in the hobby of coin collecting, precious metal stacking, or anything in that area. So like the video, make that comment, and you will be entered to win a 1 ounce Royal Arms silver coin from Great Britain. Awesome, right? Now, let's move on to the winner of last week's contest. We're going to copy the URL from last week's video as usual, and we're going to filter for duplicate users, see how many comments we've got. We've got 592 unique commenters, and we will see who the winner is. So good luck, everybody. And the winner is Manveer Silver God Saini. He wrote, I'd say neutral feedback. Negative feedback cripples a new seller on eBay. Speaking from experience, one bad feedback and it's an uphill battle to get that seller rating back up. My favorite local coin shop is Legacy Rare Coins in Murray, Utah. They are genuine and make a point to get to know their customer on a personal level. Well, Manveer, congratulations. I am very excited to get this coin out to you. And I see that you are a frequent commenter, so that's great. So thank you for supporting my videos. So just send me an email with your contact info and your shipping address, and I will get this awesome silver coin out to you free of charge. Congratulations, Manveer. So that's about it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something, because I really enjoyed talking to these vendors that were generous enough to share their coins and banknotes with all of us, because it was super interesting. I thought the format of the video was kind of fun and different. Let me know if you guys liked it and if you'd like to see more stuff like this. I also hope that you guys didn't hate the video because I was so negative. You know, I'm usually not very negative. Even when I get like a bad eBay grab bag, I'm not really angry. So I don't usually show that emotion on YouTube, but I really felt very frustrated, and I thought that you guys should understand where I'm coming from, because I really care deeply about the numismatic community on YouTube and on the internet at large, just the young people's numismatic community, and to see the people who have the facilities, the experience, the knowledge to be able to share with us and teach us to basically just say no without any explanation and also rudely was just too much for me to just keep to myself. And I also thought it would be a good way to get people like you guys to be vocal about it. When you go to events that are sponsored by the ANA or going to other coin shows, make your voices heard that you want to see this kind of stuff on YouTube, you want to see this kind of stuff on Instagram, and you want to bring the hobby into the 21st century where it can thrive. It really can. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike. As you know, every single week I'm giving away an ounce of silver, so stay tuned for next week as well. And I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned, and until next week, Silver Picker out.